Welcome to our free webinar and happy National Heroes Day, by the way. Welcome to our free webinar and feel free to share this live video with your friends and watch together. Interact with us through the comment sections. And of course, me and my fellow facilitators for this, specifically our MC, author MJ, will be reading your comments as you interact in the comment section through our Facebook page, author Liza. Yes, and I'm so happy and so blessed this day because of you joining us in this webinar. And of course, I'm blessed because I have with me fellow facilitators who joined my team, who joined the team in facilitating this webinar. Yes, so I'm blessed to introduce our MC today, author MJ. Without much ado, may I welcome our MC for this day, author MJ Gambulao.
Yeah, hey! Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone na nanonood live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook. Those who are on Zoom, good morning, everyone, and happy National Heroes Day. So I was asking, why is it holiday? I thought it was just para makapagpahinga. The momshies just like me and those who are working, keeping themselves busy sa kanilang mga responsibilities, accountabilities. Ngayon, let's join and try to unstuck those tangled thoughts whatsoever with this free webinar of author Liza. Thank you for inviting me to be your co-facilitator today. And I am tasked to start this webinar officially. Let me introduce the man of the hour. The man of the hour. Warm our morning with inspiring messages. Let us all welcome the president of Messenger of Hope Book Publishing, an author, speaker, our book coach, Mr. Chris Dao-anis.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Here we are, and this morning is something amazing, something exciting, and I thank author Liza for putting this together with her team, and it's just wonderful to have here people who want to break through, right? And I believe that we are here, you are here because you want something, and that something is good, something better, something brighter. In other words, you want to break through, right? That's the title of this webinar. You and I want to grow. You and I want to move on and move forward, right? Just in case you haven't moved on yet from whatever is in your past, right? And I believe you'll go deeper into that in this webinar. The reason people are stuck is that because they allow chains of the past to claw them, right? Ayaw natin yon. You don't want that. And that's why we are here. We are here because we are aware that we need help. We are aware that for us to get better, we need to learn something. Get this learning and take action, right? That's what we want. Alam nyo, I met Liza some years back in Toastmasters, and I saw how she opened herself. She opened herself up to learning, and she humbled herself. She is an English teacher, and I saw how she welcomed correction, comments, and feedback on her speeches, on how she delivers, and even on grammar and pronunciation. And I was thinking, I believe she has been teaching this to her students. But there she is, humbling herself to to that specific learning, to that specific area of growth. She, in other words, is dedicated to getting unstuck. And so I believe that whatever she is going to share today is something that is born out of a beautiful experience, as an experience of transformation that she had and that she continue to have. It's a beautiful journey that is unfolding each and every single day. You know, one day after a Toastmasters meeting, she approached me and said, "Can you mentor me?" And then I just smiled at her and asked, "Mentor on what?" And sabi niya, on what you do as a speaker, as a trainer, as a writer. And then I just looked at her and I saw how sincere she was, and she is this time. And so I said, "Sure, let's see what we can do." Yun yung sabi ko. And then I wasn't sure what happened at the time after that conversation. But then last year, remember, the pandemic hit and many things stopped. Many events were canceled. And as you might have noticed, many people got stuck. Many people got stuck, right? But actually, if you look deeper, even before, some people got stuck because of this external factor in the form of the pandemic. Some people were stuck long before this because of an internal factor. And I'm saying this because I noticed that there are people who got stuck for some days because of the pandemic, but then eventually they found their way back. And then even in the midst of a crisis like this, they experienced breakthrough and they demonstrate a breakthrough and they're helping other people to break through. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that exciting? In April 2020, on the height of the ECQ, I opened what I call a 7-day challenge for aspiring authors. And it was free. It was fun. It was fruitful. It was a meaningful experience. And one of those who joined was Liza. And then later on, with 5 others, she signed up for my book coaching program. And then in just 5 months, they launched their first books. I believe that is a manifestation of a breakthrough. But wait, baka akala mo kailangan mo magsulat ng libro. Yes, you can. Go ahead if you want to. But breakthroughs happen in many ways. Just like when Liza realized something after what she calls a grocery experience. And I think she will be sharing that to you today, together with many other forms of breakthroughs. So even before she starts sharing her practical ways on how to get unstuck here, you and I, let's decide now on, let's identify what areas are we stuck in right now. Because I believe that, yes, you're doing well in other areas, in some areas, but in other areas, maybe we are stuck. So what are those? And as you think of them, get ready as you open your hearts and open your minds, open your eyes and open your ears, and open yourself to great possibilities. So get excited and get ready. Get ready for more. Let's enjoy this webinar. And congratulations in advance, author Liza, and to everybody who's joining this beautiful, wonderful event. Good morning sa ating lahat.
Yes, good morning. And thank you so much, Coach Chris, for that words of wisdom, the warm introduction, and of course for the encouragement. And for everything, Coach Chris. Thank you so much. I'm honored that I have a coach like you who has helped me get through this series of breakthroughs that I've experienced since last year. And thank you so much, Coach Chris, once again. And yes, to everyone, I pray that in this webinar, may we experience breakthroughs in whatever form, in whatever areas we need to break through. May we have it through this webinar. May this webinar help you or help us attain that breakthrough. And yes, before we start, may I lead you all. May we have a short prayer to acknowledge and, of course, to recognize what's going on around us, to pray for people who are going through difficulties. So may I invite you for a short prayer as we continue with this breakthrough webinar. Father in heaven, we praise and thank you for this wonderful day that you have given us, for this beautiful opportunity that you have granted us, this beautiful day for us to enjoy, to learn, and at the same time to experience breakthroughs that you have set for each of us. Lord, as we come to this webinar, we acknowledge that you are the source of everything. You are the giver, and of course, you are the greatest breakthrough that we can have in our life. And only if we have the courage to reach within us and have that greatness that you have planted in each of us, then we will be able to live the life that you have set for us. Lord, we are also aware of what is going on in the world, the war, the famine, this pandemic. Sometimes it's so easy to get dragged into this cycle of being stuck, thinking that the situation seems hopeless. But we know, Lord, that you are still on the throne, that despite the challenges that we are going through right now, you still have a plan for us. In the end, it will still be beautiful. That, Lord, life is still beautiful in spite of all these challenges. And so we offer you everything, the content, the desires of our hearts. We offer you our loved ones who are suffering from sickness, who are fighting cancer, fighting this COVID. We also offer prayers for those who lost their loved ones, who are suffering from grief because of losing a loved one. Lord, you embrace them in your hand. And as we celebrate also the National Heroes Day, this day, Lord, may you point us to the hero in each of us so that the hero within us will emerge. And in that way, we will be able to become heroes to others. We become heroes in this world that needs lots of help and encouragement in so many ways. And so, Lord, help us this day to break through. And we offer you this seminar. We offer you this webinar. We offer you the facilitators. I also pray for me that you may use me to speak your words of hope to the people who need to hear your message this day. And to those who will be watching the replay. Lord, I also offer these participants. May you help them and grant the desires of their heart. Lead us to this breakthrough, Lord, and everything we do for your honor and glory. In Jesus' most powerful name, amen. And I give back the control to our ever gregarious and active MC or Master of Ceremony for this day. I'm honored that she said yes to this event, even if I just coordinated with her yesterday. So let's welcome aboard once again our MC, author NJ Gambulao.
Well, thank you very much, author Liza, and thank you also for trusting me to do this. And at the same time, would not say yes if you're going to learn so much from someone who's like author Liza Gay. Breakthrough, how to get unstuck in life. I need that too, more than anyone else. Not just because of this pandemic, but of course, just as our book coach, Coach Chris said earlier, let us open ourselves to greater possibilities. And of course, how would we do that? How would we open ourselves to greater possibilities if we will not be able to identify where or what is the reason where we are stuck? See, I'm stuck in the words, in the words, and it's actually resounding in my head, greater possibilities, unstuck. And I really need those as well. And moving along, if we want to take action and to achieve something, we really have to go through identifying within us what is that something. Then I cannot not recognize myself, cannot realize myself right now kung ano ba, kung nasaan o saan ako na-stuck. And you know, I am very happy when I was reading, there's something that I found out. If United States of America has Lisa Gay, Lisa with an S and Gay with an E, an American actress and singer, we have our very own Cordilleran author, educator, and a motivational speaker, Liza Gay Caranta. Let me give you the Zoom stage for our very own author, Liza Gay, for the first topic.
What will you get in this seminar or in this webinar? First, you're going to recognize your own hero, to uncover the real reasons for being stuck in life, to take steps to consciously get unstuck, to experience your own breakthrough, enjoy interacting, and enjoy some surprises. As first topic, my dear friends, I titled this The Stuck Story. Because yes, my dear friends, we cannot improve something that we do not acknowledge, right? We cannot say that we are going to improve on something that we deny. So we have first to take an honest look of the things that we need to improve in order to do something about it in the first place. And so let me share with you my story, how I reached this point. My stuck story or the stuck story. Who am I? I'd like to say this 5 things about me: an author, a speaker, an educator, a lifelong learner. And the 5th is a beloved child of God. When I look back 10 years ago to who I was 10 years ago, ganito din ba ako? No. It was a very different story. At 24, I had experienced this grocery experience, as Coach Chris mentioned. Also, I shared this in my book, Journey to a Better You. The grocery experience that showed it all. You know, at that time, this grocery experience was quite an embarrassing experience. Actually, noong una kong naranasan yon at that age, kinakahiya ko yun. I never shared it to anyone. Why? Because that experience at that age was representative of the situation, kung paano ako na-stuck sa age na yon. You know, one day, when I was 24, I was married that time, newly married, and my husband and I started off in a very negative financial position because he he applied for a loan, and supposedly that loan was for a house investment, but it did not serve its purpose. And so we are in a negative financial position. And at the same time, during that time, I was hopping from one teaching job to another. So ibig sabihin, no permanent teaching job. And one day we needed some supplies at home. So, kailangan, of course, when you're married, diba, you're expected to bring food on the table to provide for the family. Although that time we don't have yet children, but we have our siblings living with us. And so one day we needed groceries at home. We needed supplies at home. And being a member of our cooperative, I thought I could apply for a grocery loan. Kasi during the time we were short on cash. And so I went to our cooperative. So with with the cart, so I went to pick the items that we needed, and then I proceeded to the counter for checkout. And during that day, it so happened, kung minsan, there are things that happen to us all at once. And during that time, it so happened that there were many people. And so when I was there at the counter, many people were already lining up behind me. So you can imagine, long line na. And then the cashier punched the grocery items I bought, one item after the other. And when I was about to, get those ones, I presented my grocery loan. And then the cashier told me, "Oh, sorry, ma'am, you're not yet qualified for this loan. You have to pay in cash." So, nag-blush ako during that time. Yung tipong, I cannot explain because that time, I had none. Big problem, I had none. Literally. And we do need those groceries at home. And so without saying a word, di na ako lumingon kasi alam ko ang dami ng tao. Without saying a word, I put aside those groceries and walked out without looking back. You know, that was the most embarrassing experience I had in a grocery during that time. It was embarrassing at that moment because it represented all the other reasons why I was not doing well as I should have been during that time. You know, when I was going home, as I was walking home, all the other negative things, all the other chains came back. Parang low self-esteem, all those things. And, I was so down on myself. But that time, that experience, at the same time was such a great blessing. Kasi nung pauwi na ako, naglalakad na ako, that was the time I told myself, this is it. I will never experience this again. And so that experience, that grocery experience, my dear friends, pushed me to start to find ways. It challenged me actually from just okay way of living to really do something. Parang hindi ko na maranasan yun. Kasi parang I'm already married. How much more when we got kids that time? Diba? Parang yun yung struggle ko that time. And I was challenged really to work hard and to do something to improve our situation. And along the way, I made lots of breakthroughs since then. And the reason why in this webinar, I titled it Breakthroughs is that in life, we have series of breakthroughs before we can reach our highest potential. It's a journey that we are taking. And along the way, we have breakthroughs because we meet some walls, we meet some obstacles that will prevent us from becoming who we were meant to be. So there, my dear friends, the breakthrough that I had when I was 24, that was 10 years ago. When you reach that point of being stuck, yung na-share ko sa inyo na grocery experience ko, I describe that as being really stuck, wherein you experience dissatisfaction with your life in general. You experience frustration, and you feel as if you're not moving anywhere. You're not making any progress. And then the danger of being stuck is when you allow yourself to accept it as it is, to accept your being stuck as something permanent. That's when you resign. Kung na-reach mo yung stage of resignation. That's when it becomes, that's when you compromise your dreams. That's when it becomes dangerous. Bakit dangerous? Kasi you start to live half alive. You compromise your dreams with the reality of life. Parang sabihin mo, why would I dream big? Anyway, wala rin naman ako magagawa. Diba? Yun yung mahirap when you submit to being stuck already. And I have to admit, my dear friends, that at one point, 10 years ago, I accepted that only until that grocery experience. Diba? And so this is my question for you as I end this first topic. My friend, where are you now in life? Oh, by the way, as I'm sharing, you can interact through the comment section, through our chat box for our Zoom participants. You're very much welcome to answer and interact with us. Going back to these questions, where are you now in life? Saan ka na ba ngayon? Are there things you wish were better than they currently are? Like in all your aspects in life. May mga areas ba na wish mo or feeling mo, pinipray mo na sana maging mas mabuti pa kaysa sa sitwasyon niya ngayon? Are you content with your achievements and the way things are in your family, finances, career, and relationships? My friends, I challenge you to think about this and to reflect on this as we go through our webinar today. And no, here's the thing. As I lead you, as I lead you to this seminar, you might become uncomfortable. You may become, you might experience the pain of going back to those chains that have kept you stuck throughout the years. But that's okay, my dear friends, because that's when you start to take action. That's when you start the process of healing so that you can step forward to your breakthroughs. Yes, know that it is possible. Whatever your dreams are, it's possible. You can make your better life or your best life happen. And so with that, my dear friends, as we continue with this webinar, I want you to reflect on those questions that I asked and feel free to type your answers in the comment section in our chat box for the Zoom participants.
I was actually surprised last night when I placed this on top of my table. My son, who is 7 years old, grade 1, sabi niya, you. Oh, mom, this is about you. It actually tells something. I was surprised that he knows exactly what the story is. So, do you think you understand what is in there? So I said, no, because there's you. There's you. That's why I know it is for you to become a better you. So I was smiling at the same time. I was smiling at the same time that I said, oh yes, it's really you. So anyone, even 7-year-old, can relate to this journey of becoming a better you. Because you know that it is you. Sino nga naman ang makakapag-unstuck or makakapag-untanggal kung nasaan ka man na-stuck ngayon, kundi ikaw din lang. The you. Diba? To your message and your story a while ago, author, Liza, yun eh. Parang hanggang kailan kaya ganito yung sitwasyon? Kung yun yung mga tanong ninyo, really, nasa gitna pa lang po ako ng kalagitnaan pa lang po ako ng pagbabasa nito. But there are a lot of parts wherein I have topics. Ramdam na ramdam mo kasi, oo, ito, naramdaman ko din to dati nung ganito ako. And then you would remember, ano nga ba or anong nangyari noon? Bakit ganito ang nangyari? And then soon after, wag ko mag-alala kasi in the future, sabi nga ni Author Liza Gay kanina, that was 10 years before. Yes, Author Maria Lourdes, your book is, yes, How to Multiply Your Blessings, Unlock the Secret to Grace and Abundance. And this book, actually, if I'm going to relate it, the book, the breakthrough right now, the topic right now, How to Multiply Your Blessings, Unlock the Secret to Grace and Abundance. It actually can also answer, no, yung how to unstuck, how to get unstuck in life. So we thank you, Author Liza Gay, also for multiplying the lessons that you learned from that stuck story that you shared with us. Moving along, let's find out those chains that kept us stuck in our life. In the Zoom stage, author Liza Gay.
Yes, thank you so much, author MJ. In our first topic, I shared about the situation, or I described to you the situation of being stuck. And you know, my dear friends, being stuck can come in so many ways. Just like what you have shared in the comment sections and in the chat, we can be stuck in an area of, like putting off what we were supposed to do, or what you call the mañana habit, yung bukas na, saka na, until that next time will not come. That's actually one form of being stuck. Another is when you are stuck in your health, for example, you're experiencing some health issues, health challenges. Maybe you're stuck in your finances, maybe in your relationships, na hindi na siya nakakatulong, that sometimes it's already toxic. Or maybe you're stuck in your work right now, where you feel as if you're no longer growing as you are supposed to be in the work that you are doing. There are so many phases of being stuck. But what's common among this, my dear friends, is the feeling of dissatisfaction. Yung na-share ko kanina, yung knowing feeling, yung parang kinakain ka sa loob, yung loob mo na, I know there is something better than this. Hindi ito yung, hindi lang hanggang ganito ang sitwasyon na to. You know within you, you know in your heart of hearts, that there is something that there should be something to be done. Ganon. Pero feeling mo, hindi mo alam kung ano yun. You know, that could be one sign that you are stuck. But the good news is, you can unstuck. Kaya lang, kung minsan, may mga times na feeling natin, na-overwhelm tayo, yung feeling natin, hindi natin alam kung paano, kung anong gagawin natin, lalo na pag nagsabay-sabay. And we feel so heavy. There are times that we don't want to wake up in the morning, diba? But, my dear friends, as I've shared in the previous series of videos, maalala niyo yung 5 videos na na-share ko. The first starts with the hero in you. Second video, own your morning. Third video, acknowledge your villain. Fourth video is, ano ba yung fourth video? Take the first step. And then yung fifth video, pang-5, yun na yung open invitation for everyone. Now, all those videos are actually related. Kaya ko siya talaga pinost at those specific days para ma-prepare tayo for this one. Because no matter how stuck we may seem in life, the good news is we can still do something about it. Kaya lang, bago mo gagawin yon, bago ka gumawa ng action para ma-unstuck, you have to identify first what's keeping you. Ano ba yung dahilan? Bakit nandyan ka? And my dear friends, I must warn you that as I discuss this, you may be brought back to those unpleasant experiences that you have had before. But that's okay. Kasi part siya ng process ng healing. Part siya ng process ng pag-move mo so that you can move towards your breakthrough. Yes. Why are we stuck? Bakit ba tayo na-stuck sa buhay natin? Bakit ba kung minsan hindi tayo nagpo-progress? There are many reasons that we can think of. And if we are like most people, we can blame a lot of people, a lot of circumstances. We can blame the experiences we've had. But here's my breakthrough realization. Let me share this with you. In these chains that keep us stuck, one of the breakthrough realization that I hope we can also take away from this breakthrough webinar is this: to improve my life, I have to improve myself first. As I have said, isa ito sa mga na-discover ko when I started my journey to personal development, to holistic personal development. Kasi, di ba, it's so easy to say, ito kasi, the way I was raised, these people who have hurt me, who have put me down, ito yung sitwasyon ko kasi, very limited, ito yung nangyayari ngayon, pandemic ngayon. There are a lot of reasons that we can say why we are not moving ahead or moving forward in our life, specifically in our goals and dreams. But when we are honest with ourselves, we will see that we have to start from within. Yes. And before we can improve something, we have to recognize what it is to be improved. For a lot of people, ang dami nagsasabi na, ano ba yan? Nagiging nostalgic ka na dyan or emo lang yan. It's a waste of time. Yung iba, no? They're very busy. It's impractical to think about those things. Ang importante is you are moving forward. Pero in reality, my dear friends, here's what I discovered now. It is an act of great courage to face your chains that have kept you from moving ahead. To feel the pain if necessary and then do something about them rather than constantly evading them. When we acknowledge or when we take a look at our chains in life, we are actually doing ourselves a great service. And by doing a great service for ourselves, we are also doing a great service to other people, specifically to the people we love and to the people that we serve. How so? Bakit kaya? You know, psychology would agree that a person with an imbalance in any area of his or her life will not be able to perform well. Research has proven that. And kung may isang aspeto ng buhay natin na hindi balance, may isang aspeto na stuck talaga at hindi natin inaayos, it will affect all other aspects of our life. And when we have a sense of imbalance in life, it will affect our performance, our productivity sa work at sa bahay natin. And then it will reflect also in our relationships. That's what I discovered, my dear friends. Kaya nga I'm pushing for this concept of holistic personal development. And so, let's take a look at some chains that may have been keeping us so that as we move to our breakthroughs, we can, remove these chains. We can unlock these chains para mas free tayo. So we can break free from them. In that way, we will achieve our breakthroughs. Kasi ang hirap mong maka-forward, di ba? Kapag ang daming nakatali sa'yo, kapag ang daming na humahatak sa'yo, pabalik kung saan ka nagsimula. That's why it's really important to break these chains, to identify them before you can break them. The first chain that I discovered is this, the low self-esteem. You know, when I was writing my book, this book, and in the chapter where I shared about these chains in our life, I was brought back to the little child that I was, to this little Liza in me. Parang napaiyak ako actually when I was writing. During the time, sa process ng writing ng book, napaiyak ako nung naalala ko yung munting Liza, the insecure Liza, who was trying to make it in this world, so to speak. And as I processed this, I also came to see that, in all of us, lahat tayo, may maliit na bata. There is this little child in each of us, wanting to be affirmed. However, as we face the world, we may experience some things that will, that will hurt this little child in us, consciously or unconsciously, intentionally or unintentionally. Like maybe our parents, the way they raised us. Maybe sa family natin, hindi sila mahilig na mag-affirm. So more on, negative. Like lagi kang pinapagalitan. Kung ano yung mali sa'yo, yun yung laging sinasabi sa'yo. And at the effect is that mas nakikita mo yung mali kaysa yung tama na ginagawa mo. So, my dear friends, this low self-esteem is contributory to having this low self-worth. And as we go through life with this nagging low self-esteem, ang daming ano nito pag hindi natin maipaprocess. You know, when you feel you don't matter, it's very difficult to see the opportunities around you. You experience self-consciousness, insecurity, low self-worth. At kapag hanggang matanda na tayo, hindi pa rin natin napaprocess yon, hindi pa rin natin pinapansin yung little child in each of us, what will this lead to? This low self-esteem can lead to self-destructive behavior. And other people, I have seen, and we have known other people, you know, na they have achieved so many things externally. Kaya lang sa loob nila, feeling nila kulang pa rin. Kasi nga, hindi nabuo yung self-esteem. So they resort to unhealthy means of validation. Like, you know, because of having this low self-esteem, you try to look for validation para may magsabi sa'yo na you are enough. Maybe by going to the wrong crowd, by doing drugs. Kung bakit, alam niyo, within each of us, we have this common longing to find na yung paramdaman natin na we are important. And if we do not have this, we find other means to feel important. Diba? Like, external validation from people. Yung we post on social media, we want to be famous, yung maging trending tayo. Pero kapag may mga nag-comment, nag-basher sa atin, ang baba na lang dating sa atin, mga ganon. And it can also lead to mental health issues and a lot more. And so, my dear friends, ito yung self-esteem. Pag hindi natin na-address yung self-esteem na to, definitely, it will drag us through life. And it will reflect in our relationships. So ito, maalala ko to familiar ako dito kasi I grew up to have this low self-esteem. I remember as a child, ang isa sa mga speech challenge ko ito, yung R, pronunciation ko ng letter R. I have this short tongue, that's why it's quite difficult to enunciate properly this letter R. So when I was in elementary, medyo confident ako noon kasi alam ko bata pa lang ako, madaldal ako. Kaya lang, at one point, I got so quiet. Bakit? Because one time, I was asked by our teacher to recite the poem Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star on stage. And so I went there, di ba? So bata ka kaya parang, alam mo yung confidence mo ang taas. So I went to the stage and recited that with all the energy I could master. And then, after that, syempre pumalakpak sila, but after that, people were laughing at me. I heard people laughing at me, teasing me with my difficulty in pronouncing the letter R. Inaasar ako. So every time I say a word, they would find a word with letter R in it, and then they would exaggeratedly repeat it. So isa yun sa parang nagpababa sa self-worth ko when I was a child, in this little child in me. You know, sometimes we do have these experiences that will really cause this low self-worth and low self-esteem. So, my dear friends, I challenge you, look at this little child in you. I challenge you to recognize yung maliit na bata sa'yo. What are the hurts, the pains that little child in you has experienced at this point? That's the first chain that can keep us, that can drag us all throughout life. The second, my dear friends, is negative self-talk. Negative self-talk. And, this negative self-talk, I discovered, is a very potent poison to our life. Kasi, ito yun we can hear so many wounding words from people we love, from people we know, but what is more painful and what is more destructive, alam mo yung mas nakakasira? Ito yung mga salita na sinasabi natin sa sarili natin. People may have said hurtful things to us, about us, but if we let that dialogue, those negative conversations or those negative words from people, kung i-allow natin yon na maging words natin sa sarili natin, it becomes destructive. When I was in college, I always, sabi ko nga, I started with a very low self-esteem. So when I was in college, I achieved some things like the average achievement of a student, you know. But still, those are achievements. Kaya lang, parang feeling ko kulang pa rin. Whenever I commit a mistake, for example, whenever I commit a mistake, I always curse myself. And then, negative ang dating ko talaga eh. Negative ang dating ko sa sarili ko. I always say, kasi naman, TANGA or something like that. Like, you're stupid. Mga ganun sinasabi ko sa sarili ko. All the while, ang alam ko, I was very, perfectionist. Akala ko okay yun, pero hindi pala. Because in my journey, I discovered that that's very dangerous and destructive. Kung ganun lagi ang language o ang sinasabi mo, negative lagi ang sinasabi mo sa sarili mo, it can damage your sense of self. And this is where I already realized na kung minsan, diba, may mga tao na ang ano yun yung expression nila negative, like when they do something wrong, they would immediately say something negative about themselves. And when you have that, words have power. If you always say that to yourself, definitely yung society natin, papasok na yan eh, it will accept it. Your mind will accept it as truth. Because, words have power. A lot of great people, great minds, philosophers would say that words have power. And I discovered that yes, words have power. You can bless or curse yourself with your words. And if you always have this negative talk, my dear friends, negative self-talk, you will be able, or you will definitely curse yourself, and in the process, your life. It's in the Bible also that with your words, you can curse or bless others, and you apply that to yourself as well. So that's the second chain. And we move to the third. Are you still up to this point? Let's do some sound check. Yes. So we move to the third chain. The third chain, my dear friends, is this: the fear of failure. The fear of failure. Bakit ba natatakot tayo na mag-fail? Why are we afraid of failing? Yung failure bang kinakatakutan natin mismo? Actually, I realized or I discovered na hindi eh. Natatakot tayo na ma-reject. Natatakot tayo na sasabihin ng ibang tao, we are not good enough. That's why we're afraid to take chances, to take risks. So that's our fear of failure. And connected lahat yung mga chains na to, my dear friends. If you have a very low self-esteem, definitely you would be able to, you won't be able to take risks as much as you should, or as much as you could, because you have this fear of failure. Kasi ayaw mo na i-reject ka ng ibang tao. I'm very familiar with this, As a child, I had this nagging sense of fear of failing. When I was in elementary, I struggled to prove myself, di ba? Parang, alam mo yun pagka i-announce yung pangalan mo as an honor student, it's somehow na, nag-a-add, kumbaga, ng parang, it gives you a good sense of feeling. Kasi you're able to say, you're able to appreciate yourself, and people would say, oh, congratulations, may honor ka, mga ganon. And throughout high school, ganon I really strived hard to maintain. Kasi nga, yun sa akin, yung push sa akin, because I wanted to prove myself. But deep inside me is this sense of fear. Kasi takot ako na ma-reject. I remember when I was in college, I was with my friends and sharing mga ganon. And then, alam mo yung feeling na nandun ka sa friends mo with a group of people, but somehow you're alienated kasi yung feeling mo na, tanggap ba nila ako? I am with them, but will they be able to accept me as I am? Yung mga ganon. Baka i-reject nila ako. Mga ganon. So, being in that group, tapos having that fear of rejection, actually, it prevented me to become more authentic with them, to develop a closer or a better friendship with them. So, yun my dear friends, if we have this sense of fear, of failure, at kapag hindi natin ito na-process, it can debilitate us. It can immobilize us. Di ba? Parang hindi na tayo gagalaw kasi feeling natin, mag-feel tayo. If we let this fear overtake us, it can stop us from taking actions. And so I challenge you, my dear friends, to really look at this chain, and face it. Alam niyo, in my book, I also shared, there are two kinds of fears. Although I found this from a very, a great mind. Sabi niya, fear has two meanings. Face everything, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. Anong klaseng fear? Kasi lahat tayo, hindi naman mawawala yung fear, my dear friends. But if we tackle that fear, definitely we'll be able to move forward. Kaya lang, i-recognize natin na totoo yan. It's, nandyan yan yung fear na yan. Then we can just choose whether it's the first fear or the second fear to do everything in spite of being afraid. Diba? That's what heroes are all about. We have the next one. Yes, ano pa kaya? O, diba? So how are you now, my dear friends? Nare-recognize niyo na ba yung mga fears ninyo? Yung mga chains ninyo so far? So let's go back. Ano yung tatlo? Actually, nandito sa chat natin. We are very interactive. Participants also via Zoom. Yes, and mamaya babasahin natin. So we move forward with the next chain, the blames and regrets. I mentioned a while back, yung blames and regrets natin sa buhay. Kung minsan we can blame a lot of people, diba? We can blame our circumstances, our past, the people in our life for not getting ahead. But if we are to recognize what is within us, we will see that itong blames and regrets natin, ito pala yung isa sa mga chains natin, sa mga something that will cause us to be imprisoned para hindi tayo maka-forward sa ating goals and dreams sa buhay, di ba? Looking back to the child in me, one of my greatest regret is when I said next time. Yes, my dear friends, ito yung greatest childhood regret ko when I was not with my best friend, with my then best friend, 1 week before she died. I did not spend time with her kasi I was thinking that, she will overcome her sickness, we will still be together, we will still play again. But sadly, that next time never came. And itong greatest regret ko, not spending time with my best friend a week before she died, was with me for how many years? My best friend, childhood best friend, died when I was 12 years old. Pero yung regret ko, dala ko hanggang ako'y 22 years old. Until I was in my early adult life. And this regret in me has prevented me to see the death of my best friend in another perspective for a long time. Parang nag-focus ako dun sa regret na yon. I always blamed myself for not spending time with her during that time. Kaya, in the process, I have grieved for more than 10 years. Not for the loss per se, but because of this blame and regret. Ito, my dear friends, ang mahirap. Kapag hindi mo i-let go ang chain na to, it will prevent you from moving on. And just like this regret has prevented me from moving on years after my best friend passed away. Kung hindi ko pa, kung hindi ko pa i-let go ito when I was 22, if I had not let this go, it would have, prevented me from moving on hanggang maging adult ako. Nandun pa rin yan. My dear friends, in life, we do experience a lot of blames and regrets. In life, we commit a lot of mistakes. Tama? We make some wrong decisions, we take some wrong turns. It doesn't help if we keep on blaming ourselves, if we keep on blaming people, and if we keep holding on to that regret as to what should have been. Diba? Kasi ang maging effect nito is it will just prevent us from moving on. Kasi we stay in the past. And here is what I discovered. When we stay in the past, we sacrifice the joy of the present and the opportunity for a better future. Look at your regrets and blames. See them as they are. Ano ba yung mga yon? Tackle them so that you can let them go. The fifth chain is this. Ito yung isa sa mga pinakamalaking chain na nag-hold back sa akin. Grudges and unforgiveness. May I ask you this, my dear friends? Are there people in your life that you have not forgiven yet? May mga tao ba sa buhay natin na may kinikimkim tayong galit sa kanila? You know, I've read this from a very wise person who said, you know, anger, holding on to anger is drinking poison and wishing that person is dead. Parang ganon. Ito pala, no? Pagka nag-accumulate ka ng anger, ng grudges, ng unforgiveness, it's poisoning not the other person, pero ikaw mismo. And as you accumulate these grudges and unforgiveness, the tendency is you create more cycle of hurts. Kasi hurting people hurt people. Ang dami mong galit sa puso mo eh. And if you are angry, if you are hurting, the tendency is to project it to other people. What will happen? It will affect your relationships. I remember in our early years of marriage, by the way, yung month of August na to 2024 is very significant for me, no? Kasi it's 10 years since I started consciously to start my personal development journey. And it's also 10 years since I got married. So 10 years married, happily married na kami. But in our early years of marriage, I remember, if you're familiar with this, I think most wives would be familiar with this. And sometimes husband, di ba? Yung pagiging historical. Historical. Kasi paulit-ulit. Like, I remember in our early years of marriage, whenever we have arguments, I have this tendency to, go back to our previous arguments. Go back to the times that my husband offended me. And then bring it to the present argument. Have you ever experienced that? Or, alam mo yun, may certain circumstance na kapag nandito ka na sa sitwasyon na to, you're going through some arguments, and then bumalik yung nakaraan. What happens is that it will add more pain. It will add more pain to the current challenge, di ba? Mas dadagdagan niya yung hurt, which is not intended. Kasi you are becoming historical. And when you dig deeper, you will realize na bakit paulit-ulit naaalala mo ang mga yon? Bakit nasasaktan ka pa rin? Because in your heart, you have accumulated grudges and unforgiveness. And I have to recognize this sa earlier years ng marriage namin. And, as we go through this, naging talagang strained yung relationship. Until one time, my husband and I decided to let the past go. Kasi kung hindi na-cut yung pagiging historical namin every time we have arguments, baka hindi nag-10 years, hindi kami umabot ng 10 years as a married couple. The grudges and unforgiveness can poison not just you, but it can also poison your relationships and the way you deal with people. So my dear friends, yes, people may have offended you, may have said or done wrong things about you. You cannot change that. You can decide to release this chain of unforgiveness, of grudges, para hindi ka niya ikulong. So, yun, my dear friends, these are the 5 major chains that can keep us stuck in life. Ito yung mga na-recognize ko na chains ko when I was 24. And along the way, as I journey, kasi ang breakthroughs natin, it's a journey. As I journey, itong mga chains na to, my dear friends, can still get a hold on us. Ito, yung low self-worth na to, hindi naman one time, big time na nawawala to eh. It's a process really of establishing my sense of self. And ito yung the second chain na to. And what was the second chain? Nakita natin yung negative self-talk. Because of our experiences and situations, we can have the tendency to go back to that eh. But as we consciously journey, may we consciously unstuck ourselves by, looking at these chains. Pagka na recognize mo na bumabalik ka na sa chain na yon, parang bumabalik ka sa low self-worth mo, sa negative self-talk mo. Alam mo na eh. So, no, negative yon. So, move forward. Unstuck. Diba? Ganon. So, in our third topic, my dear friends, I will be sharing some keys that will unlock these chains. So for now, let's have a break first. And let's read some of the comments that you have in your chat, in the chat, and in the comment section through our live streaming. So with that, my dear friends, thank you for listening. And I give back the control to our beautiful and gregarious and energetic MC, author MJ.
Sinong kasama ko dito na may katabing tissue. Dami yung katabing tissue. Pigil na pigil sa pag-iyak, Although, nakakatulong din po ang pagluha at pag-iyak. That's one chain that I have realized as well. Na akala ko kapag umiiyak, mahina ka na. Ganun din yan, no? Much thankful sa ating author, kay author Liza, for sharing the chains, the lessons that she learned in personal development over 10 years. Inaral niya ang personal development, di ba?
Indeed, these chains that we have in our lives can be looked at a different perspective. It's not entirely evil or ugly, but they serve to teach us lessons, to challenge us, and to mold our character. Maybe negative or unpleasant as they are, after recognizing them, now is the time to take actions so that you can free yourself from them. Because to experience a breakthrough, at times you have to break free. Parang sa wall, pag nakaharap mo yung wall, how do you manage that? For some, may nakita ko yung picture kanina na kamay that pushed through a wall, tas nabutas yung wall. If only it's as easy as that, But there are different ways that we can manage that. Sabi ko nga dun sa sharing ko kahapon, how do you climb a high mountain? Kung you have experienced, climbing hiking, mountain hiking or climbing a mountain. Ang pinakamataas na bundok na naakyat ko so far, although lagi ako na sa bundok, kaya siguro kung ipunin lahat ng naakyat ko talagang mataas. But the specific climb that I remember was my climb to Mount Pulag. Diba? Very challenging yung pag-akyat. But if you are at the foot of the mountain and you are facing a very tall mountain, how will you conquer that mountain? Paano mo ba akyatin yan? Of course, the first thing that you should do is to take the first step. Diba? If you are also a marathoner, like ilang miles yan or ilang kilometer run yan, or 10 kilometer, for example, how do you get through the first kilometer? It's by taking the first step. Diba? And when you feel stuck or overwhelmed in life, how do you take the first step? And here are my suggestions that you can do. Let me share my screen. How do you get unstuck? What steps can we take so we can go or move forward to our breakthroughs? Before we go to the keys that will help you unlock these chains, I would like to share that, in all your sharings, actually sa mga nakabasa ng buko, they would say, Liza, parang ako yung kinukwento mo dun sa chains mo. Parang nakita ko yung sarili ko dun. And that's where I recognize na all of us will we experience similar chains. Iba lang yung setting, iba lang yung characters or circumstances. But we do have similar chains. And here are some questions that I want us to ponder. May I read these questions now? And before I read these questions, by the way, ito yung isang I'm really sure about this, and I would like really for you to take this as your assignment. First is to write in your journal. Kung hindi mo pa ginagawa, simulan mo na. If at the moment you have an area in your life where you are stuck, you ponder on that. Write on your journal. And itong journal writing kasi, when you are processing your emotions, your thoughts, your experiences, it will help you widen your perspective. Kasi as you write, napaprocess mo yung iniisip mo. Kasi kapag sa isip mo lang, sometimes yung emotion natin, it will affect our thoughts, tama? But when you try to write it down, you become a bit objective. Parang ihihiwalay mo yung sarili mo dun sa emotion, and at the same time, you're able to process it better. So I suggest that you write on your journal, whatever realization, whatever reflection. Kung meron yung malakas na area kung saan talagang nakarelate ka o natamaan ka, maybe it's that area where you need to process. So start by writing in your journal. And here are some questions that I would like you to ponder or answer in your journal kung hindi ka pa ready na mag-share. First question is this: what are some painful experiences that you have in life that still is hurting you up to this moment? May mga karanasan ka ba na hanggang ngayon ay painful pa rin ang dating sa'yo? Maybe it's still haunting you. That's the first question. The second is, do you have traumas that you don't want to deal with, or traumas you want to erase in your past? How are these affecting your present choices, decisions, and relationships? Kung may trauma ka at hindi mo na-process yun, and I have heard stories of traumatic experiences like witnessing a crime, being a victim of sexual abuse. At kapag hindi mo na-process ito, how are these affecting your choices, your relationships at the moment? Third question is, are there childhood experiences, attitudes, or insecurities that you still have with you at the moment? Meron ba? Yung tipong kung halimbawa yung mga inaasar sa'yo nung bata ka, tapos ngayon pag inaasar sa'yo or narinig mo, napipikon ka pa rin, or you still feel anger towards it. Do you have those ones? Maybe it's not yet processed, or those experiences were not yet processed. Fourth question, are there people in your life that you have not forgiven yet? Or people who moved on to another life? People who passed away, pero hindi mo pa na-let go sa buhay mo? Are there people who have left you? Not that they went to another side of life, or iniwan ka lang, pero hindi mo pa na-let go? May mga tao ba na umalis sa buhay mo, pero you're still holding on to them? How are these affecting you at the moment? And last question is this: is there some kind of bitterness, hatred, or anger that you still have over your experiences, over your past, and over the people in your life? Kasi kung meron ka pa ng mga to, maybe it's time for you to process it, to face it, so that you can let go. Yun yung mga questions. My dear friends, itong mga questions na to, these are hard questions. These are hard questions that, they can challenge you really to look at your chains honestly. So my dear friends, itong mga questions na to, I challenge you to answer this in your, in your journal. And if you feel overwhelmed at the moment, yung feeling mo sabay-sabay lahat, take it once, one chain at a time, para hindi ka ma-overwhelm. Sabi ko mga, how do you conquer a high mountain? Take the first step. So start with the chain na feeling mo mas urgent na kailangan mong i-address so that you can take appropriate action for them. And to help you further, my friends, ito mga suggested keys that will unlock the chains that have been keeping you. And these are the keys that I also used to release that prisoner who was in prison for 20 years, 24 years, the former Liza that I was. And here are these chains. And in our next series of webinar in this breakthrough, that's where I will go deeper kasi we don't have enough time to process or to discuss each of these chain in detail. I will just give the general overview para at least hindi rin so heavy ang dating sa inyo. And in our, what do you call it, in the next level of this breakthroughs series, that's in the achieving breakthroughs, that's where I will offer individual coaching for each of these chains. But for now, here are the general keys that we all can use. The first one, what it takes to break through, to break these chains. Nako, medyo na ano forgiveness. The chains and the keys to break them. Actually, I shared this in one of my speeches at Toastmasters. But anyway, in the first one, the first key that you can use, if you have low self-esteem, the first key that you can use is acceptance. Acceptance, my dear friends. When I was 22, or at the age of 22, nasulat ko yun sa journal ko yung magnanimous impact, the big impact of accepting everything about my life. That's when I realized na bakit ang baba ng self-esteem ko hanggang ako at that age, that young adult. Graduate na ako nun sa college. I was already working, pero I still have this low self-esteem. It's because there are areas of my life that I have not accepted yet. And when I was able to honestly look at that hurting child in me, i-accept ko yung bata na yon, the hurts and all, the flaws and all, that's when I was able to value myself more deeply. Kasi yung maliit na batang yon is a child of God, a precious person in the sight of the Almighty. Diba yan? And if you base yourself, if you accept yourself as such, then definitely you will know your true value. Ganun yun, my dear friends. So acceptance, that's the first key. The second key is this. Madali sa atin yung negative self-talk natin, ano? But whenever you catch yourself going back to that cycle of negative talk, self-talk, replace the self-talk with affirming one. Actually, author Vanji, one of our participants in Zoom, sa kanyang book na Brighter Perspectives, she offers some affirmations for increasing your self-worth. And I find it beautiful. Nung nabasa ko yung book niya, no? When you, the moment you wake up in the morning, you face yourself in the mirror and you say to yourself, wow, good morning, beautiful. Or good morning, handsome. Diba? Parang, alam mo yon, the moment you wake up, you already affirm yourself. Like, when you did a good job, sabihin mo sa sarili mo, oy, good job, Liza. You know, give yourself a tap on the shoulder. Hindi dahil sa mayabang ka, kundi dahil alam mo na ginawa mo talaga yung best mo. And you feel good about it. You feel good about your accomplishments. Diba? Ganun yun, yung concept ng affirmation. It's not about bragging. It's about really looking at your accomplishments, appreciating yourself, instead of condemning yourself whenever you commit mistake, di ba? And then here's another thing about affirmation. Kapag nagamit mo naman siya in a very shallow way, yung parang alam mo na may ginawa kang mali pero ina-appreciate mo pa rin, no. That's not what I am, that's not what I am advocating, my dear friends. When you commit a mistake, you tell yourself to do better next time. Huwag lang yung constantly cursing yourself. So, halimbawa, nagkamali ako doon. Lisa, do better next time. Ganon, di ba? That's when you affirm. The third key that can help you unlock your fear of failure is to take the courage. Heroes, ito yung sineselebrate natin ngayong araw. Heroes are those who don't have, heroes are not those who never experienced fear in their lives. Heroes are those who took courage and did or continue to do what it takes in spite of their fear. Ganun yun. If you take your courage, if you take the courage to tackle your fear, nandyan yan, but you still do it in spite of being afraid, that's when you take courage. And my dear friends, the courage that you take can start with the little acts of courage that you do each day. It can start maybe by the courage to correct yourself when you know you did something wrong at walang nakakita pero alam mo sa sarili mo na mali yun. The courage to self-correct, you can start there. Or the courage to speak out the truth even if it's unpopular. That's an example of the courage. Isang example na share ko dito is ito. Sir Chris mentioned that I'm an educator. And entering the public school service had not been easy for me. It took me 5 years to enter as a public high school teacher. Now, when I was applying still, when I was applying, one of the greatest acts of courage na nagawa ko is when I wrote a letter to a school head. And now, I'm sharing this not to degrade anybody. I'm sharing this just to share with you the importance of taking courage. And one of the greatest acts of courage that I did is to write a letter of clarification with regards to my ranking points. Kasi from top 15, from top 5 sa ranking, bigla akong pumunta sa top 15. So I have to write a letter of clarification asking for clarification kung bakit nangyari yon. Baka na may na-overlook or nagkamali. I had that courage because of the help of mentors who encouraged me to do the right thing, even if there's a risk in doing so. Because when I did that, I became unpopular in that school where I was applying to. Actually, pinagalitan ako, and the leader in that school made it appear it was my fault kung bakit ganun ang nangyari. But anyway, the thing there is, I know even if I got rejected in that school, I know I did the right thing. I took the courage to do the right thing. And the good thing that came out of it is this. I may not have been accepted in that school, but I was brought to another environment where my teaching experience was enriched. And I was brought to a school where my talents and my abilities were maximized, but yung contribution ko. So that's the good thing about taking courage. And if you take the courage, my dear friends, you will find that sa small things, take courage in the small things, you will find that you are courageous to do the greater things. You are courageous enough to take the bigger risks. Sometimes taking courage also will mean standing up to that bully within you. Diba? May nag-share na speech na gano'n, inner bully, the negative self-talk. So anyway, that's about taking courage. The next is understanding. And lastly, forgiveness. But first, I'd like to talk about understanding, yung blames and regrets. Nabanggit ko kanina, my dear friends, that hurting people hurt people. The question now is, do you have the breadth of perspective or understanding to accommodate the people that have hurt you? Not because what they did to you is okay, but somehow to look at the situation in their perspective. Like when you recall the painful experiences that you have, yung mga maling ginawa sa'yo or sinabi sa'yo, have you tried looking at their perspective? Ano kaya yung nararamdaman ng taong yun na nakit sa'yo dun yung sa time na yon? Maybe that person who have hurt you was going through a tough time herself or himself. Maybe the parents who have hurt you or who you feel did not do their best to rear you, to give you the best care, were giving you their best. I shared in my book also yung struggle ko dito how I struggled to understand the people in my life. But once you enlarge your understanding, you will be able to look kindly with compassion towards the people who have hurt you. Kasi alam mo na when they did that, they were not themselves. Kasi they themselves were lacking. Merong mali or merong hurting sa buhay nila. That's why they are able to project that. And it so happened na ikaw ang naging recipient. O kaya, alam mo yon, you begin to understand even the people who have hurt you. Because you see in them also this desire, the little child in them, yun yung understanding sinasabi natin. And finally, my dear friends, forgiveness. You know, let me share kung saan yung slide na yun. A profound statement by Nelson Mandela. Sabi ni Nelson Mandela, to forgive is to set the prisoner free and to realize that the prisoner has been you. Diba, if you're familiar with Nelson Mandela, was in prison for 28 years. But when he came out of the prison, he was able to forgive his, what do you call that? The people who imprisoned him for the sake of his country. That's where you set free. You unlock those chains so that you can move towards your breakthrough. You don't have to be stuck. You don't have to feel as if your situation will never change. Because it can. You can start from within, my friends, and you can achieve your breakthrough so that you will move towards the goals and dreams that you have for yourself and for the people that you love and serve. And so I hope, my dear friends, that my sharing today has somehow helped you or will help you. For those who are watching live and for those who will be watching the replay, I hope this will help you somehow attain your breakthroughs, maybe by starting to unlock the chains that are keeping you toward or that are holding you back from your better or even best life. Thank you so much, my friends, for listening, and continue to break through, continue to break free until you attain that better life. It's a journey. It's a journey of becoming a better version of ourselves. And yes, you can do that. I pray the best for you and for your loved ones. And I pray that you be set free. You become truly free so that the hero in you will emerge. Thank you once again. And with that, I will return the control to our MC for some Q&A, reading of comments, and then after that, we'll come back for some announcements, some endorsements, and then the closing. Back to you, Author MJ.
All right. So yes, on Zoom chat box, we can see here the comments. Author Banji of Brighter Perspective said, do it afraid. Yes, kahit takot ka, even if you're afraid, just do it, sabi ni Nike. So this is not sponsored by Nike, but just do it. Agree, sabi ni Ina, and I also agree with Author Benji. To forgive is to set the prisoner free and to realize the prisoner is you. Hey, there are ways, and this is one way, diba? We are able to set this webinar for free. We are able to bless people with messages, inspire those who are also stuck virtually. So there's always a way. Just do it afraid. And yes, thank you from Author Benji. Thank you for the helpful keys, Author Liza. And thank you, Miss Liza, for sharing your knowledge and experience with us. I'm ready to break through. Thank you for the encouragement, heartfelt and very sincere. From Author Maria Lourdes Cruz, so blessed today, super felt the love, Author Liza Gay. Yes, diba? Hindi lang po talaga, search nyo sa Google, we have Liza Gay, kasing ganda rin po ng ating author. So wow, thank you for this super helpful webinar, Author Liza. Ayan. And for those who will be watching this replay, you prepare a pen and a paper and also some tissue kasi kailangan yung umiyak din. And then, of course, a pen and paper to take note kasi super dami. So now that you've heard from our very own Author Liza Gay, what are your major chains? So, negative self-talk, sabi ni Ma'am Marisa Balidoy. Yan. That's your major chains. From author Benji, blames and regrets. From Ina, blames and regrets. Totoo. And they shared that early on. Sa una, kay Ma'am author Maria Lourdes Cruz, regrets and blames. Yes. Ano ba major chain ko?
Okay, thank you so much once again, author MJ. In closing, I would like us to really consider the importance of taking steps or taking the first step kung hindi ka pa nag-step. But, I congratulate you because the mere fact that you are here means that you want to experience your breakthrough. The mere fact that you are watching this video or watching the replay or the video clips that I will be posting soon on YouTube means that you desire something. You desire to make your life better than it is right now. And so, my dear friends, I challenge you to continue to take steps, take action, so that you will not feel stuck. I challenge you to make the hero in you emerge para maging hero ka sa buhay mo at sa kabuhay ng mga mahal mo sa buhay. Diba? Malalim yun. You will become a hero to yourself and to other people as well. Because our world needs heroes right now. If we look at the situation, very discouraging, diba? Ang dami, no? Many people losing their loved ones, many people fighting illness. Internationally, many negative news, diba? Yung situation sa Afghanistan, yung hunger sa Madagascar, and the like. And in your own way, you can be a hero. In your own way, you can do something. Kahit feeling mo maliit lang yung ginagawa mo para sa ibang tao, it will make a lot of difference. Yes, my dear friends. You may not be able to go do something great all at once, but you can start to do one great thing, even with your small step. As I've announced a while back, there will be the second, merong part 2 nito. Part 2 nitong ating webinar. Now, for those who signed up for VIPs, you will be brought to a Facebook group, VIP for Breakthrough VIP, And we will have 2 sessions, and I'll be announcing it through our Facebook group sa mga nag-signify na maging part ng VIP. So we will go more deeper into this, and we will have somehow a group coaching on how to really get unstuck. Kasi we don't have enough time in this webinar to do that. So the VIP, you will have that. And the VIP participants, you will also get a chance to buy. Actually, ang aking book is 350. But if you signed up for VIP access, then you get a chance to buy this at 50% off, which means you will only pay 175 instead of 350 if you signed up for VIP. So I invite you now, for those who still want to access or want to level up their webinar experience this time, you can sign up for VIP. And another is, aside from this, I want really, sabi ko nga yung breakthroughs natin, it's a journey. So I'd like to take you into a journey. The next level of this webinar would be on achieving your breakthroughs sa specific areas ng buhay natin. Paano ka ba mag-breakthrough? And a lot more. The action steps, the individual coaching will come in. And so, if you want to move to the next level after doing the challenge I gave in this webinar, you can also sign up for the second level of this breakthrough series. And more details will be announced soon through my Facebook page, Facebook group, and of course through my YouTube channel. So that's my invitation to you, my dear friends, so that I can help you in your breakthrough journeys. Yes. And to help you further, to expand your perspective and to, I'm very blessed right now to have these authors with me, mentors. And I do believe that by, taking what they offer, what they have written, the programs that they're offering, you can also experience your breakthroughs. And so may I take this chance to invite fellow authors And of course, our coach to share with you, to invite you, or to plug in their programs or books that can help you even better. And so to start with, may I start with first, are you still in the room, Coach Chris?
All right. Yes. Congratulations, author Liza. First off, I would like to invite everybody to get a copy of the book of author Liza
Thank you so
and
much.
then get excited for the announcement on what is going to be the next level of this webinar. I'm excited. It's really wonderful to really identify these things that we need to get unstuck with and move forward. As for from my end, I invite you to follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/Chris Dao-anis. I'm also on YouTube if you want to watch videos there on book writing, book marketing, and also in inspiration and leadership. I have books also that you can avail of. And if you are one of those who want to write your book like author Liza, just send me a message. There are many announcements that we're posting on my Facebook and also free content, just like what author Liza is doing. So I'm excited to see you, and let's stay connected and let's continue to have our breakthrough experience. Thank you.
Coach Chris, yes. Actually, our coach, our very own Coach Chris, is a writer of 5 books, right, Coach? 5 books. And yes, through his Facebook page, you can actually see how you can also purchase those books, available both online and physical store in the city. May I also invite another author with us right now, the better half, one of our active sharers and commenters, the better half of our coach, author Vanji. Are you in the room?
I was so blessed with today's talk. Thank you so much, author Liza. And yes, it's so amazing to really break through and break free from our chains, and looking forward to more of these. And yes, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brighter Perspectives. You can also grab my book via Shopee and via our local bookstores, like all of our Messenger of Hope authors. And at the same time, we will also be launching a webinar like author Liza did. So I learned a lot today, and I'm so excited also to learn with all of you. All right. So God bless everyone. Thank you so much, author Liza.
So thank you so much. We are blessed to have you with us right now, author Vanji, the author of Brighter Perspectives. Yes, and the next, another great person in the room that we are blessed to have right now is, of course, our very own MC, or Master of Ceremonies, author Maria Jesusa Leonardo Gambulao, author MJ for short.
For this chance, I also invite each and every one of you to buy this book. 25 Centavo Change, A Tale of Loss and Values Gained. Just like other Messenger of Hope authors. It's also available on Shopee and on Amazon, some selected stores in the city. You can also message me and follow my Facebook page at MJ Gambulao. It's author MJ Gambulao. That's my Facebook page. And brewing up some webinar that would be coming soon. Thank you for this, author Liza Gay, because you gave me this courage to break through.
Let's welcome her and welcome what she will share with us. Author Maria Lourdes Cruz. I'm so happy to know this person. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much, author Liza. Do you hear me? I feel so blessed. This has been a very fruitful holiday, National Heroes Day, because now you are my hero, Liza Gay. You are not just an author, but a hero. Thank you so much for this experience. It's just so many realizations. And so our morning is really so blessed. A while ago, I just sharing, I was preparing food for a friend who is in the quarantine facility. And so on top of listening to your sharing, and so I had so many really realization. It's better to give than to receive. And yes, we are stuck in, I myself is stuck, also stuck in for so many years. And so I am thanking the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, I was able to publish a book. It's How to Multiply Your Blessings. And as I share to people about this book, I always tell the people that this is actually the book of the Spirit, that I am just an instrument. And so soon I'll be coming with a Zoominar or a webinar like this. Thank you for your encouragement, and thank you for the privilege to be one of the participants. Yes, I would love to be break free. Thank you.
Yay. We're so honored to have you, Author Melu, and thank you so much for saying yes. And so with that, we now move on to, oh, by the way, I forgot. Author Melu has also a Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
and
Malu Cruz.
Malu Cruz on Facebook. Same with Author MJ, my Facebook page then. And that's the good thing about Facebook, because they have, aside from the profile, you can also follow people that you would like to learn more from, diba, on Facebook by liking or following their Facebook page. Yes. And so, my dear friends, let's now close. And we went a bit over time, and let's now close this webinar, fruitful webinar, with a closing prayer to be led by Author Melu.
Father God, we praise and thank you for this day. We praise and thank you for the learnings this morning. We praise and thank you for Author Liza Gay, for Coach Chris, and all those who are present and who are going to listen to this webinar. We praise and thank you for the bountiful blessings, because we felt that we are so blessed this morning. Dear God, let the heroes within us wake up so that we can unlock our chains, and let us move on to a better version of ourselves. Lord God, thank you is not even enough. We continue to move on and journey in this life so that we can be a blessing to others, just like what Author Liza Gay did. She inspired us this morning. Thank you for this opportunity, dear God, for being here together with these wonderful people around. Allow us to be a blessing to others and give us the grace to break free. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen and amen.